I remember telling my mom that I wanted to be a hairstylist. And I remember her saying like, oh, you could do that on the side as a hobby. And then eventually like I had an idea that I want to start my own coffee shop. And I want to do that with my sister. And so that was about the time I was going into college. So I kind of started here at App as an entrepreneurship major. My name is Lily Henderson. I am getting my master's in accounting, and I am about to take my 4th CPA exam, which will be my last one. And it just kind of challenged my brain in a way that I really liked. And soon they invited me to a principal's dinner. You know, they made it seem really good, like, hey, you know, there's internship opportunities, there's career opportunities. And I thought about it, and, you know, accounting is really the backbone of business. So if I do want to own my own business, which I still do, I still have that dream, accounting is a really great way to start out.
I came into school as a marketing major. I chose the business school just because I figured that would be a good place to start if I wanted to move out anywhere I could. My parents encouraged me to pick a career that I could make money at and have a living. But actually when I first came into the College of Business and went to the open house for all the departments, I picked the brochures up from every department except accounting because I thought accounting would be the most boring. It wasn't the career I planned on, but I ended up going to my first principles class and talking about debits, credits, the balance sheet equation, all of that kind of just made sense to me in principles. And then she ended up inviting me to the invite dinner. And then a little bit after that, might have been a little before that, actually, I'd gotten back my first test grade and done really well in it. So that was like, just got me thinking, well, accounting's a good career, there's jobs in it. So it wasn't out of any real passion or anything, it's just kind of like a realistic job choice.
Being an accountant is not the most glamorous thing. You know, I introduce myself and, you know, they ask like, oh, well, you know, what's your major? And I say accounting, you know, automatically their faces drop. I've gotten responses like, oh, that sounds boring. You hear a lot of it and people say, oh, you must be good at math. I literally punch things into a calculator. I am not good at math, nor are any of the accountants. We're all just crunching numbers and like putting it into Excel and stuff, and it's not glamorized, that's for sure.
I have heard that accountants are boring. I've heard that accountants don't have social lives and people don't really like to be around accountants. More specifically, auditors, people run the other direction when they see an auditor. And I've found that that's not exactly true, but yes, accountants are supposed to be boring with the pocket protectors and the visors and everything.
You know, I kind of just wish it was the way that, you know, if you said like, oh, I'm a computer science major, people would be like, oh, you're so smart. But nobody ever says that to accountants. They just say that it must be boring, and they must be boring. Therefore, maybe I shouldn't even get to know them just based on that.
Managing your time when taking the CPA exam is probably the hardest thing. The summer that I started taking the CPA exam, it wasn't that hard to manage my time because all of my time went to the CPA exam. So I woke up, I studied, I went to bed. I woke up, I studied, I went to bed. Like, when that's the only thing you have to do, it's not that hard to manage your time, but when you have to throw in friends and classes and family, that's when it gets really hard. I actually lost 2 friendships because of the CPA exam because I just didn't have time to spend with them outside of studying, and it just, all the stress really put a damper on the friendship because we would only talk about the CPA exam and we just weren't happy when we were together anymore.
Just even like receiving a phone call from my friends would stress me out because I would feel like I didn't have enough time to answer the phone and have a conversation. I needed to be studying. Like, I can do it, and I have been doing it so far, but it has pushed me to the extremes. Like, I have never been in my life so stressed out and so just mentally exhausted from everything than I have been doing this.
Everyone understands it, everyone knows, like, always comes up to me and asks when I'm going to be done with the CPA exam, all that stuff, and they understand why I'm busy. So that helps a little bit, but I'm definitely looking forward to being able to, actually have a life again,
I've learned a lot about myself. I have learned that I'm definitely a list person. I've learned that, every little thing I do needs to have a little category that I can check off and scratch off because I want to feel like I'm accomplishing something. Taking the CPA exam, there's so much to do and you do so much and yet it looks like you haven't done a lot at all. So really kind of breaking things up and showing that I have accomplished something because I learned that about my personality is that, during my day, I have to feel like I've accomplished something. Even if I've like barely chipped away at my CPA book, I need to like make sure I know as a person that I've accomplished a lot. And it's hard because me as a person, I care a lot about friends. Like, I'm an extrovert. I am a shy extrovert, but I definitely require my social time. And when you're studying and you don't have a lot of time, all your friends are accountants and they also don't have a lot of time. I don't get in that kind of social time that I need. And I become really exhausted and I become really sad about that. So just kind of learning when I can squeeze in that time.
It kind of forced me to look more at myself instead of feeding into a group think. Whatever my friends, wanted to do or something like that. Usually we'd end up all doing that together and having a good time. But this gives me more time to really think about where I want to go with my life. I've really thought a lot about what I want to do with my time, where I want to go, and how long I want to be in public accounting. And, what the next step is. I'm trying to think 2 or 3 steps ahead, just because I know that it's not going to be forever that I'll be here or working in public accounting forever.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the same person. I passed all 4 parts of the CPA exam, but I'm not a CPA yet, so that hasn't changed. I honestly think that I have gotten lazier. It was good for me because I used to be one of those people that would go to the library and spend hours on this one exam that was 5% of my grade that I could get like a 30 on and still pass the class. So I think that it's helped me realize that you don't have to stress about every single little thing, and it's definitely helped me let go of some things. So I feel like I've mellowed. After this year and the CPA exam, I have mellowed and I am more carefree. Goodman.